When Bimala Prasad was only 5 months old, the annual Rath Yatra festival was taking place. His father's house was on Grand Road in Puri, along the path of the Rath Yatra procession. Usually, this festival would conclude within a few hours, but this time, Lord Jagannātha's chariot remained in front of their house for 3 days. Seizing this auspicious opportunity, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Ṭhākura organized a continuous Sankirtana festival for the Lord's pleasure. During this time, he instructed his wife to take the infant Bimala Prasad near Lord Jagannātha's chariot. When the child was placed at the lotus feet of the Lord, he extended his tiny arms as if trying to touch them. At that very moment, Lord Jagannāth's garland fell from his neck onto the child's body. On the same day, Bimala Prasad's Anna-prāśana samskara, the first grain ceremony, was performed with Lord Jagannātha's Mahaprasad. Additionally, a traditional ritual was conducted to observe the child's future inclinations. Items such as rice, money, and scriptures were placed before him. Without hesitation, Bimala Prasad immediately picked up the Srimad Bhagavatam, indicating his natural inclination towards the path of devotion. Witnessing these extraordinary events, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Ṭhākura felt that this child was the answer to his prayers for the Lord to send one of his associates. He resolved to raise this boy with special care and train him in pure devotion. When Bimala Prasad was 10 months old, his mother carried him in a palanquin to Ranaghat in the Nadi district of West Bengal, where he spent his early years. At the age of 4, an incident revealed his deep spiritual nature. One day, he ate a mango that had not been offered to the family's Govardhanshila. When Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Ṭhākura learned of this, he explained to him, food must always be offered to the Lord first. Eating without offering is an offense. Hearing this, young Bimala Prasad became extremely sorrowful and immediately took a vow never to eat mangoes again for the rest of his life. Even in later years, when he became a renowned spiritual ācārya, many mangoes were offered to him, but he always declined, saying, "I am an offender." He often quoted this verse. Everything, animate or inanimate, within this universe is under the control and ownership of the Lord. Therefore, one should accept only what is necessary and allotted to him, knowing well to whom everything belongs. Early spiritual training. From childhood, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Ṭhākura trained Bimala Prasad in the practice of chanting. In 1881, he arranged for tulsi beads to be brought from Puri and gave his son initiation into chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That same year, he also gave him initiation into the Nrasimhadev mantra. Around this time, while constructing his house, Bhakti Bhavan, in the Rambagan area of Kolkata, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Ṭhākura discovered a Kurmdev Shaligram Shila during excavation. According to tradition, such a deity should be given to a Brahman by birth. However, recognizing the deep devotion of Bimala Prasad, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta personally taught him the proper methods of worship. From then on, Bimala Prasad began to wear tilak and strictly follow the principles of Vaiṣṇava dharma. During his childhood, he composed 2 Sanskrit verses describing the footprints of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Jagannath temple. The essence of these verses conveyed that Mahaprabhu's heart was so tender in distributing Krishna's love and so deeply affected by the suffering of others that wherever he placed his lotus feet, even stone melted in love. Extraordinary memory. Bimala Prasad was no ordinary child. His memory was astonishing. Whatever he read even once, he could recall verbatim. Due to this remarkable ability, he was later known as a living encyclopedia. Even in his final days, he could accurately quote books he had read 50 years earlier. Along with his sharp intellect, he possessed a serious and determined nature. Unlike other children, he never wasted time in unnecessary play. Like Prahlad Maharaj and other great devotees, he was absorbed in Krishna Bhakti from the very beginning. Shri Bihari Das Babaji, the personal servant of Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, described him as follows. I saw Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta in his childhood at Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Ṭhākura's house in Kolkata many times. He wore only a simple kurta and had a deeply serious demeanor. His aura and scholarship were very attractive to me. He was always absorbed in Harinam. In his childhood, his body was very lean, and Babaji Maharaj had great affection for him. Uncompromising in pure devotion. Once, a famous Babaji noticed that Bimala Prasad had not offered him obeisances. When he asked why, he received the reply, "Because I do not bow down to Sahajiyās." Recognizing his son's ability to carry forward the preaching mission, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Ṭhākura often took Bimala Prasad with him to spiritual discourses, pilgrimages, and the company of saints. He trained him in the deep study of Vaiṣṇava philosophy and encouraged him to refute anti-Vaiṣṇava doctrines. From his very childhood, Bimala Prasad naturally absorbed this mission, embracing his father's complete surrender to the Lord and his compassionate desire to spread Hari Bhakti.